Hello, welcome to the House of Parker. I am so glad that you are here today. I am so excited about today's video. The wonderful Jessica Morose tagged me in the stay-at-home mom Q&A, and I'm very excited about that for once because it's a sit-down video. I have been fighting some type of a virus or a cold all week, and I'm finally feeling better. And so this is great just to be able to sit down and just chat with you guys, and you guys get to know me a little bit more. And so pretty excited about that. So now I have to give you a little disclaimer. My children are adults. I am a mom with older kids. They are all adults. My youngest is 21, but he is still at home. So I have struggled with the term or label myself lately as a stay-at-home mom because I associate that with having little ones. And I don't even have grandkids yet, so I don't have any little ones. But I thought about it. I don't work outside the home, so I do stay home, and I will always be a mom. So I think the term still applies to me. So yeah. So we'll just start with that. So I'm sorry if this is a weird angle and it looks like my dog. I don't know if you can see her on camera, but she has to be next to me the whole time. So we are just chilling on the couch here, reclining back, and we're gonna enjoy a few moments with you. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm going to be tagging three people in this video. And so look for their channel names in the description box, and I'm looking forward to hearing their answers to the questions as well. So anyway, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, question number one. Have you ever had anyone say anything negative about you staying home? Now, I have, let's see, the kids growing up and throughout our marriage, I have worked outside the home before. I've worked full-time on occasion. There's been a time where I was able to stay home with the kids because we were able to do that. And then when they had started to get older and more independent, I would work outside the home part-time just because I wanted to. And so I'm very, very thankful and blessed that my husband works as hard as he does so that I have the opportunity to stay home. I've never had anything negative, but I've had people who will say things like, oh, I wish I can stay home and all that. So I do kind of get the opposite effect that, oh, I wish I could stay home and don't have to work. And and I hope that works out for everybody, but like I said, I'm very thankful and blessed to be able to stay home. I like being at home, so I guess it works out. Anyway, chasing rabbits. Let me go to question number 2. What are your favorite and least favorite parts about being a stay-at-home mom? Well, like I just said earlier, I actually like staying home. I like hanging out with my family. I like being here. I do miss social events. I do miss adult conversations at times. But my husband and I have a very good relationship. We are really, really best friends. And so we do a lot of fun activities together. And but I really like staying at home. So I don't really have a least favorite, except for maybe more adult time, which, we all need those social gatherings. We need friendships to keep us going. So I miss that. Because when I was working, you had the coworkers you could talk to on a daily basis. We'd always have fun. We'd go have lunch together. So there's that stuff that, I kind of miss, but I can still do that. I still have an opportunity to do that. So that's great. What time do you go, question number 4. What time do you go to bed and what time do you wake up? I am not a morning person at all. I am more of a night owl, but it really, really depends. If I'm busy throughout the day, then by 8 o'clock I'm tired and ready for bed. But I usually go to bed I try to be in bed by 10:30, but I don't get up early unless I absolutely have to. I usually get up around between 7 and 7:30. And it seems like the older I get, the little bit more sleep I need. And now that I don't have to get up at the crack of dawn with the kids, I love my sleep. I do. I love my sleep. So I'm more of a night owl. I can get up early if I really need to. I'm more productive and more functional by the time the afternoon gets here, and the evening time is when so that's when I do a lot of my stuff, because I'm more productive during that time. Question number 5. Do you play anything in the background while you are cooking or cleaning? Yes, I do. I watch a lot of crime shows, so there's always a crime show going on. But I also watch some of my friends who have YouTube channels and some of my favorite YouTubers. Or I listen to a podcast. I'll have headphones on and I'll listen to a podcast and or music. So it just really depends. I really like supporting the small YouTubers and all my YouTube friends that I've met. So I really like having their channels on in the background. So I do that. But most of the time it's either a podcast or crime shows. So anyway. Question number 6. Do you get dressed most days or do you stay in your PJs? Well, I don't always stay in my PJs. I always get dressed most days. Just because I treat my home as a small business. So it's like, this is my job. This is my job. So you dress for the part. Now, I don't always follow that rule, but because there's times where I don't feel well or whatever it is and I need to rest. So I do have pajama days most times. I do get dressed though. Most days I do. I feel that if you change out of pajamas and you get dressed for your day, it changes your mindset, and I feel like I'm more productive and eager to get more things done that way instead of just lounging around in pajamas. But I do have those days where I have to do that, or I just do it because it's good for the soul to rest. And so I may not be dressed up, but I do change out of my PJs. So question number 7. How often do you do your hair and makeup? Not very often, but I start to do it more now. I'm not, I don't know, I'm not very girly, as you can tell in my videos. But I have learned that it also goes with, part of the uniform. I feel a little bit more confident, and I feel like I can be more productive. So I do try to do hair and makeup every day. I don't always succeed with that. And there's days where I don't wear makeup, but I do get dressed. Hair is a different story. I've got to figure out what I want to do with this. Oh my goodness, driving me nuts. I do have a little bit more time in my day, so I can get dressed from head to toe, makeup included in hair. So some days I do. So I do actually like to get up and dress up a little bit. And I know my husband appreciates it. Though he doesn't require it, he does appreciate it. Question number 8. What are the trouble zones in your home? Trouble zones. Well, here's a confession time. I have a tendency to stash stuff in closets or rooms that nobody uses. The guest room has been the catch-all place for all my stuff. So the closets would be a trouble zone, and the kitchen is a trouble zone. I'm always in the kitchen, I'm always cooking, and it just always seems to stay in a perpetual stage of messiness. So that would be, so the closets, unused rooms, and my kitchen would probably be my trouble zones. Although I'm working hard on changing that. 10. Oh, I've already answered this one. Question 10, do you enjoy staying at home or do you miss work? I enjoy staying home. I've already answered that. I really do. The only thing I miss about work is, like I said, the daily activity with other adults and that stuff. But, you know, I can go to lunch with a friend. I can have coffee with my daughter. You know, I mean, I can still do those things, but I actually enjoy being at home. I enjoyed being at home when the kids were little. It was fun that I was able to do that. I'm a homebody. I just like staying at home. Oh, I skipped a question. So let's back up to question number 9. Do you get distracted? All the time I get distracted. I am really, really bad. That's why I rely on my to-do lists. I've got to write everything down. I've got to stay on track. I have apps on my phone. I am so easily distracted because it's just not even funny. So when I sit down to watch YouTube videos and interact with, you know, my YouTube community, I have to set a timer because it will, before I know it, it is dinner time and I have wasted all day and did not get anything done. I'm so bad about that. So yes, I get easily distracted. I have got to stay focused. I found that when I'm listening to my headphones, like a podcast or listening to YouTube, it helps me to stay focused more. I'm not sure why, but I get the job done quicker when I have headphones on than when I don't. I think maybe because it drowns out all the everyday noises, and I find ones that I'm very interested in, so I want to keep listening to the story, of course. So I think that really helps me a lot too. But distractions not even funny, not even. I will like to. I'll start like in one room and find stuff that go to another room. So I'll take that in there and then I'll work in there, and then I'm like, oh, I've got to go back and finish this. So yeah, easily distraction. Question number 11, what is your never-ending chore? Well, if you've watched my channel long enough, it's laundry. Isn't it laundry for everyone? Oh my goodness, it's just never ending. And I think it's my own fault because I don't keep up with it as much as I should. And I only do laundry for 2 people. 2 people. My son does his own laundry. And I can't keep up with it. I don't know and I've always been like this. Even when the kids were little, it was even worse because there were so many clothes. But now I thought it should be easier, right? It's not. It is not. Not for me. Okay, question number 12. What is your way of having me time? Well, I will sit and watch TV in the evening sometimes, and I play video games, so I'm a gamer. So I have a few games that I like to sit down and I enjoy, and I also play with my husband and I play with my son. And so that is my me time. I will go to lunch by myself. I have no problem doing that and just do some window shopping or go shopping, and that is my me time. But I mainly play video games for my me time. I don't know, maybe I should get a different hobby. I also enjoy reading, so I have a couple of books that I'm reading, so I squeeze in some reading time. But In the evening, when I just need to get ready for bed, get my mind set ready, I will watch TV or I will read. So that's what I do for me time. Okay, question 13. How often and how does your husband chip in? Well, my husband does a lot. He actually does quite a bit. However, he does work, and he sometimes works long hours, and he sometimes works on the weekend. We probably have fairly traditional roles. Like I said, we're kind of old school. I stay home, so this is my job. The house is my job. The kids are my job, and so to speak. And so, I do the majority of the housework and the laundry and projects and stuff. But that's because I'm home. But he's pretty hands-on. He will help out when he needs to. He will do the laundry. He'll do dishes. He'll cook dinner every so often. He doesn't like to, but he will. So yeah, he works pretty darn hard for me to be able to stay home. And so I try not to take that for granted. So the majority of the chores of the house is my responsibility, and that's okay because we're pretty old school about the husband and wife roles. And like I said, I treat it like a small business, like a job, and that helps me to get stuff done. I know that's not the popular opinion, but that's just how we do it here. But you will see on camera sometimes that he does some stuff, but you only see a small percentage of what goes on. So he does quite a bit. Yeah, I'm pretty blessed and pretty thankful. I got a pretty good guy. He will help out when he needs to. Okay, question 14. When do you do chores and you find it hard to keep up with them? Well, I am a list person, and most of you may not know. Excuse me. I also have anxiety. I was diagnosed with anxiety a few years ago. It was pretty bad. So I developed routines of how I manage my house. So like a business, you have certain ways that a business has to be ran. There's things you have to do on a daily basis, a weekly, monthly. And I have a binder, and I put all that in a binder, and that really helps me to stay on task. Though I am getting, hate to admit this, but I am getting older, so I'm not able to do everything I want to like in one day. So I have stuff I do on the daily. I have daily routines that I do, and then I have weekly routines. So for an example, Mondays I will clean the bathrooms. After I do all my dailies, that is like tidying up, making the beds, unloading, loading the dishwasher, stuff like that, picking up stuff. And so Mondays would be deep clean the bathrooms, and then Tuesday I dust, Wednesday I vacuum and mop, and like that. Thursday would be errand day, meal plan day, whatever else, and then Friday is catch all, whatever I couldn't do during the week for whatever reason, then Friday I would set some time away to do that. Sometimes it is harder to keep up with everything. Like I said, because I do have some health issues, and so I do get more tired lately, and I have learned over the years to listen to my body. So when it tells me to rest, I rest. I have hurt myself several times where I'm for weeks and months recovering, and I don't like to do that. But I'm a firm believer in routines. They really help me stay on task, and it helps me to maintain my home. So what else do I? So when do I do my chores? Well, I have the dailies I start after I have breakfast and coffee. Everything, it's always coffee first, but coffee first. In the mornings I do devotions, and I have coffee, and then I have breakfast. And then I get up, get dressed, and then I look at my calendar. Do I have appointments today? Do I need to do this? Is it grocery shopping? What are we eating for dinner? And then I get started. So my day sometimes doesn't start till about 10 or 11, which doing chores, or sometimes I get early, and sometimes most things don't take me very long to do because I have the daily routines and I keep things up. So, and I do that on purpose because of anxiety. I've got to keep things in order. I have to follow my list. I have to keep things. I can't let things get a little out of control, or it makes my anxiety just go. So that was probably more than you wanted, but hey, here we go. So let's move on now. Okay, question 15. What is your favorite room and why? Okay, my absolute favorite room in my house, no matter where I live, what house I'm in, is the dining room. This is when the kids were growing up, we always made it a point to have at least one meal together. So we all gathered around the dining room table. This was a time to share for the day, concerns. The kids could bring up questions. We could talk. We visited. We ate dinner. And most of the times it was pleasant and there was no fights. Most days. And we just took time to get to know each other. And that was one of the most important things we brought into our marriage, was that we were going to eat at least one meal at the dinner table. Not always happened, but majority, I would say about 98% of the time, the kids were always home for dinner. So the dining room is my favorite place because that's where we go to gather. That's where we laugh. That's where we just, we talk, we visit, when people come over for coffee, we sit at the table. So that is my absolutely favorite room in the house. That's how I bless my family, by cooking dinner for them, and we share stories, and we play board games, and we just, take time with each other. So that's my absolute favorite room in the house. What is my least favorite cleaning product? Question 16. Anything that has a very, very harsh smell. So like, I can't do bleach products. I used to, I can't anymore. And just anything that's harsh. The one thing I won't use anymore because I can't stand the smell, and I don't know why, but it's the Miss Meyer's lavender scent cleaner. Oh, I cannot. I don't like how it smells. It's just, I won't use that at all. I would rather smell a dirty house than that. And I don't know why. It just seems a weird smell to me, and I can't tolerate it, and I won't use it anymore. I just don't like it. Okay, question 17. What is your least favorite room in your home? The laundry room. No, my least favorite room? Oh gosh. I'm not sure if I have one, but I guess the laundry room would be the least favorite, only because I don't like doing laundry, just for that reason. But other than that, I like all my rooms. I kind of make, everything to reflect our lifestyle, and I try to keep things a little bit neat and tidy so that, that's hard. So I don't know. I think really, to be honest, it would be the laundry room, but the only reason because I don't like laundry. So I guess I kind of like all the rooms. Question 18. Do you feel your home reflects your personal style? I do. However, my style has changed over the years, and it's changing as we speak. I've been changing out some decor items because I am liking the more natural wood tones, organic feel. If I had to describe my style, I think it tends to be like more of a boho, but I like the Scandinavian minimal earth tones. It's hard to describe, I don't know, but I love the natural look of wood tones. I'm bringing in more greenery and into my home, and I just like so yeah, I like more of a neutral palette lately. I don't know why. So I don't know if I could just, it does reflect my personal style. It just has changed. It changes with over the years, and which could be good or bad. But yeah, so I don't know. It's I don't know what to describe my style, but I think it does. I think it does. I like to think my home is warm and cozy, and I like hopefully that people feel welcomed, and then that they feel loved and can enjoy visiting. So I think it does reflect. I think it does. Question 19. What does your home smell like? Well, I think it smells like dog because I have a dog. Most people who come over say it doesn't smell like dog, but I don't know if they're just being polite or not. But other than that, I think it's on a daily basis it smells different because I do essential oils in my diffusers, and I tend to do different blends. I like the citrusy kind of smells. My husband likes the woodsy scent, so we get that every once in a while. There is a candle I bought at Target that's called Leather and Tobacco, I think. We really like how that smells, so it might smell like that on occasion. If I'm baking something, it smells different, but that's really hard to pinpoint. But I would say if I was to describe how it smells, I think it smells like dog. Hopefully not, but I think it does. All right, question 20. What are your strong points and weak points when it comes to homemaking? I have been told that I'm pretty good at homemaking. I like to think I am, but I've had friends and family tell me they don't, how do I get everything done every day and this and that. So it's because I rely on lists and routines, and that's my strong points. Is just that once I focus on that. So I would say my strong points is when it comes to homemaking is my routines, the fact that I like to have a clean home, and the fact that I actually enjoy cleaning. I know that sounds weird, but it's very therapeutic for me, and it's like I can sit back and go, oh, nice, job well done. So, instant gratification, I guess. So I actually like that. I have been doing it for so many years. I guess it's just more, it's more of a habit now, and I like maintaining and keeping my home fresh and clean as much as I can. It doesn't always happen, and it's not always perfect. Not always perfect. So yeah, I don't strive for perfection. I strive for it gets done and it's a job well done. If you come to my house and you see stuff, you will notice things are just not perfect. There's nothing that is perfect because I'm not perfect, and so things are just I try to come up. I'm getting tongue-tied. Let me drink some water. I don't think I had enough coffee today. So I guess maintaining my home is my strong. Weak points when it comes to homemaking, laundry, I guess, but also that I tend to get lazy. And, there again it goes, well, it doesn't have to be perfect, so, so there's that mentality. I struggle pretty much with, wanting things to look a certain way and then just not being able to do it. Laundry, I can't understand how I just don't enjoy it, so maybe that's the issue. I am very bad about not putting things back when I'm done. So I'm cleaning and cleaning, and I've got all the stuff out everywhere, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna worry about it. And it will sit there for weeks. So I guess follow through. So I'm very bad with follow through. I don't follow through immediately. It takes me a while. So some of the projects probably have taken longer than they need to, just because I'm like, that's okay. It doesn't need to be perfect. And then I go back and I'm like, So sometimes I do set myself up for more work than I need to. So that would be my weak point, I guess. Just not following through with like the cleanup or the final touches or, details like that. So that would be it. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I surely did. I'm looking forward to the 3 ladies I'm going to be tagging. I'm looking forward to their answers as well. And I think I've been watching everybody's video, and I think these are a lot of fun. And so I thank you again, Jessica, for tagging me, because this was fun. This was a lot of fun. Well, anyway, I'm going to end this video. It's probably longer than it needs to be. And I hope you all have a wonderful, fantastic week. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought, and if you have any more questions for me, please feel free to ask. All right, thank you. Have a great day.